We're going to talk about David Dobrick.
David, are you watching, bro? If you're watching, I mean, everyone's watching you.
Yeah. We're going to give you some advice to get you out of this. Nah.
Probably not. But we've seen a lot of ups and downs with David Dobrick. He put out an app like last month called Dispo. We talked about it on the podcast. Now, investors are dropping out of Dispo.
Yeah.
Sponsors are pulling out of David Dobrick. I mean, why is all this happening? I know you probably have a pretty good sense of the situation if you're paying attention, but what's going on, Caden? What's going on with David?
Yeah, so David has been in the headlines for some unfortunate allegations against him, which we're probably not going to get too in-depth about, but this really all started with the Frenemies podcast with Ethan, and I don't know, I can't remember his last name, but Ethan and Trisha was a former member of David's vlog squad and all this. And about a month ago, we started bringing up these things about David, like, hey, David did this, or there's allegations about David and so forth. And when I first heard about this a month ago, I was like, the Trisha chick's kind of crazy. I don't really see this becoming something bigger than just this podcast, right? Fast forward about a month and a little bit later, David Dobrick has now put out not one but two different apology videos. Wow. Right? And has fully accepted the situation, has even acknowledged these Ethan and Trisha, and sponsors have left him. You just told me that like investors in his Dispo app have bounced. He stepped down from the board. Like everything is kind of going up in flames right now.
I had no faith in Dispo at all to begin with.
Yeah.
I think that app is going to go to shit now. I don't know how it got a $200 million valuation. I have no idea. David, on the other hand, I mean, his content, like you were saying, when we talked about this before, his content is already kind of for a more mature audience. It already has sexual implications. It's already more, I wouldn't say R-rated, but it's up there.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't hiding it. But now, once you bring in accusations of more, I guess, aggressiveness when it comes to the sexual stuff, that's when people start to kind of look at you sideways. And that's really what's going on with him, because there's multiple stories that he's almost like exploiting people for his content. And that's what people are really bothered about, right?
Yeah, he obviously crossed the line, it seems. He's acknowledging that. And like he put out 3 vlogs a week, right? This young guy blowing up on YouTube, and his whole thing is like, I'm gonna do things that are shock to you, like shock value, right? Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe they did that. Mm-hmm. And when you continue to do that for years, so much content, shock value, continually to push the line, push the boundaries of what's allowed. It honestly isn't surprising to me that a situation like this has popped up, right?
Like they almost stir the pot, like with their content. So the big thing right now is that there's this girl that came out with these accusations that one person in the vlog squad really kind of took advantage of her. They ended up having a threesome. It was in one of the vlogs, and they were really poking it. Like, do you think, this just popped in my mind, do you think that, you know, a few days before they're like, we need to have someone on here and in the vlog that has a threesome and it's their first threesome, we need to make a big deal out of that? Do you think it was like premeditated, and then the characters, they picked whoever and they just forced it?
So from what I heard, what happened was the vlogs, everyone in this like vlog squad has kind of released their own statements of what's gone on, right? And one of the people who's been heavily involved, this is a guy named Jeff. It's like Jeff Wittick, I believe is his name. And he was talking, he came on the Frenemies podcast and was trying to like clear his name because he was referencing this article that came out, all this stuff. And he was saying that the David Dobrick vlogs, a lot of it, yes, is like scripted. It isn't always how it looks on at the end edit. And basically what happened was this guy named Dirty Dom, which is just funny that his name is that and all this stuff. But anyways, Dirty Dom put on his Instagram, hey, does anyone want to have like a 5-some, right? As like half joke, and to see who would respond to get people on the vlog, right? Mm-hmm. So these girls responded on Instagram, they came over, and then David really used it for like content purposes, like, haha, you responded to a 5-some with Dirty Dom, like making it this big thing. But I think as the night progressed, again, it's this whole thing of like, we got to push it. We got to get the shock value. It got more and more messed up as the night went along.
Yeah. Now this girl's saying basically like, this was super traumatic. I didn't want it to happen how it happened. And now not only was it really traumatic, but it was in a vlog. Millions of people saw it. I feel completely exploited. Yeah. And I think that's really the problem. And there's a line. You can't cross that line.
Yeah. So I think for David that I'm all for, I don't like this idea of cancel culture where, hey, we can never forgive someone, never can learn a lesson, never can change. I do think that someone like David Dobrick, who's super young, can learn from this and grow as a person. But the thing that's really hurting him right now is that he's made this second apology video now, because his first apology video came and it was like 2 minutes long. He really didn't address anything specifically. It was very generic, like, hey guys, I'm sorry for things that I might have done in the past. This very surface level. Then sponsors started dropping him, right? And about a week later, he comes with a secondary apology video that's like he's crying, he's talking about everything, referencing people, right? But like when you look at the comments from that second apology video, it's not very kind to David. They're like, well, now you're doing this just because you're losing money, right?
Not only that, but I'm pretty sure he just bought like a $10 million mansion in the hills that has like a fruit punch water fountain.
So have you heard about how there's a new, what's it called? The Justice League movie had a secondary like coming out with the Snyder Cut, they called it. Have you heard about this?
No,
I'm only referencing it because there's like a meme I'm looking at. But basically the first Justice League film, it was like 2 hours long, but the original director like only 90% of the footage he originally filmed got into the original movie. So they've just released like the original director's cut, which is like 3 hours plus long. So this meme is like David Dobrik just released the Snyder Cut for his original apology video because his first apology was 2 minutes, and then the next one's like 8 minutes long. This is funny.
Yeah, they're coming after you, David. I'm sorry to say it, honestly.